Hello, hello. Happy Friday. How we doing, Johnny Mo?
Oh, I could complain, but I won't.
No, nobody's listening anyways, right?
No.
I gotta say that little countdown intro right there. I felt like it was a little bit like we're going to church here. So hope we've got some good stuff.
That was an interesting song.
Yeah. so so what's new?
No, man, nothing. Same old, same old. Just enjoying my life and trying not to work too hard and be successful and help others.
Yeah, well, this is a good weekend to be thinking about not working too hard. It's a good weekend to step back a little bit. For a lot of people, it's been a interesting first quarter. Hopefully, a strong start to the second quarter as we're coming through the second month of the second quarter, and good chance to take a little bit of a breather. Hopefully, reassess things a little bit, figure out what your plan is for the balance of the summer, rest of the year, and come back out swinging after a couple days of rest.
For sure, man. And some of the people are getting stressed. There's two stresses going on, right? It's that agent that can't get a deal. And then
Yeah,
those top producers who have gone, from 30 transactions down to 15 transactions. And because they have so much overhead and weight and everything attached, they're suffocating, right? Then you got people like me that ride around on an electric bike and be like, "Hey, man, just listed one. I'm happy with this one."
yep,
Been there, done that, right? So,
yep.
yeah, it's been a try. Listen, it's been a trying 20 years. There's nothing new. There's people out there that want to sell, people out there that want to buy. I don't want to work with them. I want to work with the sellers personally. So finding sellers out there, if you're consistently working, if you're consistently um, setting up those traps, if you're consistently uh, farming and planting the seeds, different things pop at different times, right? Your
Mhm.
cucumbers pop, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of cucumbers. Your tomatoes pop, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of tomatoes. Your watermelons pop, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of watermelons, but they don't all come at the same time, right? So you always got to be planting, watering, pruning, and then all of a sudden you got more than enough fruit to share.
Yep. Yeah, no, it is absolutely not a I think you've used the analogy before of, I went to the store and I grabbed some cucumber seeds and I put them in the backyard and, looking forward to eating my salad this afternoon. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
There's a process there. There's some nurturing that goes in. There's some time that's required, and that's really the topic for today. And a topic we've talked about a lot lately is we have a lot of agents right now that are stuck in the mindset of where's my next deal going to come from? Where do I find the next one? What can I do today to generate some activity? And I feel like that's the wrong question to ask. Now, do you need to be doing things that are going to create activity for you in the near term? Absolutely. Like you have to be doing things actively to create more opportunity. But if we continue to do things that create this layer of activity that will take care of us down the road, and what I mean by that is, video, digital, social, the more we create and put in front of people and have out there, the more basically the more traps you've set for them to find you and come into your world and engage with you. Um, the calls you're making today are only going to reach people you call today. The videos you made 6 months ago are going to reach whoever might be searching for that topic.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's the thing about video and digital, right? Is that it lives on, and um, you know when somebody puts in a particular search term, or they go someplace that you may have posted that in a group 6 months ago. Heck, I still get questions and comments on stuff I posted a year ago, right? It's like, oh wow, this person's just coming to it. Phone calls, they're great, they're needed, all this other stuff, but there's active and passive lead generation, right? And one, active is door knocking, phone calling, again, that exchange of I did something, looking for something. Whereas the passive stuff is you created the content and it's out there, and people continue to find it. It continues to pop up on their pages, in their feeds. And, once you put a little effort into YouTube, once you put a little effort into search engine optimization with blogs and stuff, the chance of somebody finding that greatly increases. But a promise from God is if you don't do it, they will never find you.
Yeah, 100%. And as a great example of that, I just went on to YouTube while you were talking and I searched Biddeford, Maine. I live in Biddeford, Maine.
Mhm.
Search Biddeford, Maine on YouTube. Very first video that pops up is your video of things to do in Biddeford, Maine. That went out 3 months ago. It's got 2,200 views. Very first video. So the likelihood now of somebody searching for information about Biddeford, Maine, and they're likely to click on your video, the first one that pops up, and now all of a sudden, what YouTube's going to do is feed them more videos like that, more videos from that channel, and now they've kind of gone down the rabbit hole, and they're now engaging with you
Mhm.
in whatever
That's
areas you've chosen to target, and that's the beauty of it is that that person searching Biddeford, Maine, they could live here, they could live in another town, they could live in a different state. I mean, they could live in a different country for all we know. But as
right.
they start to do their research and figure out where they want to live, YouTube's a great resource for that. And because of that, you've now put yourself right in front of that traffic flow. And that's true for anybody, in any market. And that is how you end up beating a Zillow or a realtor.com is having that potential lead find you first because you put the content out there they're looking for.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get copycats, right? Because if you do things to do in Kittery, Maine, I'm number two. I got 1.8 thousand views on that one. Real views, not they're not counting the phantom views.
Yep.
And then somebody comes in and the ultimate guide to things to do in Kittery, Maine, a local's guide to Kittery, Maine. Wait a minute, dude, that's what my blog says, right?
Yep.
So people are starting to emulate me, and that's fine. Because I'm not in competition with anybody. I'll not allow myself to be in competition with anybody. I got a whole team, you know what I mean, that produces my content and stuff like that. You don't, you'll burn out. I know because I used to do it myself, right? But if I type in just Kittery, Maine, I'm number one, right? If I type in, and Kittery, Maine is the gateway to Maine, from New Hampshire to Maine, right? High wealth area. Let's type in York, Maine.
Yeah. When I search
I'm
Kittery, Maine
number
on
one.
YouTube, yeah, Kittery, Maine on YouTube, you're number one.
Kittery, Maine, York, Maine. What's next? Kenny Bunk?
Algonquin.
Gunquit. Named after the Algonquin Indians. I'm number one. 6.6 thousand views. You know why? Because Algonquin's freaking awesome.
It is.
Then what? Let's try Kenny Bunkport. Summer residents of the criminal bushes. I mean, of the Bush family. Yeah, number one. 8.1 thousand. You know who's not there? The person not doing the video.
I say
This
everybody
is
else.
YouTube, the number two most visited website of all websites. The number one video platform, which is used as a search engine, just like TikTok is, right? Owned by, and YouTube is owned by Google. I don't even want to get into Google. If you go to Google and search things to do, who's got the best, all these other things. So it's popping up, and it's as a result of the work that I did 5 months ago that I got the call to go list a home for $625,000, which is an absolutely beautiful home.
Yep.
Now, in your market, 625 might not be nothing, right? That might be low income. If you're in like Santa Monica,
Yeah.
what's that? Pacific Beach, those kind of areas.
Yep.
We don't necessarily have that here. Portland would be the closest thing, right? Maybe.
Yeah, but we've got some $1 million real estate, but it's all like sitting right on the coast.
Right, where our average sale price is I think 438 or something like that.
It's in the mid fours now.
So to get a 625, I went out there. Well, I mean, this is my presentation. So what are you looking to do? Tell me your goals.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, getting into the presentation, because I think a lot of agents show up with their fancy bound books and their iPads, and I don't think most people care to see that. They just want to know that you care what they're trying to do, and you're going to be able to help them get there. But back to the original point of, well, the topic today is getting results in the work you've already done. And when you're focused on just the exchange, you're only going to get results in the work you're doing right this minute, because that work, once it's done today, is gone. You don't recoup anything from that work down the road. However, these videos you made, where you're now ranking number one for a lot of towns in Maine, are going to continue to show up in search results, are going to continue to be seen. People are going to continue to engage. From that comes a listing agreement, or comes a listing appointment that turns into a listing agreement. All off of videos you made one time that were edited by this company. You didn't sit there and do your own editing. Everything's provided to you. You go out and film it. You send it back. It's edited, distributed, posted, optimized, and then now people are seeing it. So again, you think about planting seeds. Cold calls are not seeds. Cold calls are instant. If I get you, I get you. If I don't, I don't, and it's over. Videos are seeds. You put a seed out there, and it gets optimized, which is the equivalent to basically watering it, and then people continue to come across it, and it continues to put you in front of people. And that's how, as you move your content further up the funnel by doing this, you catch those leads earlier. And now you're not losing them to a Zillow. You're not losing them to realtor.com. You're not losing them to other agents because they haven't seen anybody else. And as we know, 75% of clients, I want to say it's 75 or 77, work with the first person they talk to. So the minute you've grabbed their attention and they're engaging with you and now they're in your database and they're following along with you, it's over. They're your client.
Yeah. I mean, the power of video, and I know I talk a lot about video. And that's because it's the most important thing you should be doing for your brand.
Right.
It is hands down. If number two, I don't know what number two is right now. I mean, I'd tell you that it's digital and SEO and Google and all these other things. But if it was a race, video won by 10 minutes.
Right.
Right. It's that far ahead.
It's not even close.
Cisco, who in my world I was a network engineer. So Cisco basically runs the internet. And so Cisco is the foremost expert for me. And when they say 89% of traffic is video and streaming video to your mobile phone, if you're not there, listen, I said this in October at your conference. Your clients are going to be watching my videos. They should be watching yours. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the deal. That property that I just listed, somebody sold it to her. Think about that.
Yep.
Somebody sold it to her.
And I wonder if she even remembers who sold it to her. That's the better question.
What's that?
I wonder if she even remembers who sold it to her.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Agents don't stay in touch, or they get out of the business. They die, they retire. There's all sorts of reasons, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't have a favorable transaction. But the thing is, your clients are watching my videos, and there is no loyalty. There is no loyalty in the customer-agent relationship. You hope there is, and we stay in touch with them. And, sometimes I would say on a small percentage of people there are. But how many times have we heard that Aunt Becky listed her house with somebody else and you didn't even know? Maybe Aunt Becky never liked you. Right? There's a whole bunch of reasons. But your clients are watching my videos. They should be watching yours. That's what I said. Now, people are going to get mad at me because I'm going to start taking market share. I'm not going to work hard to do it, and I'm going to eat cheeseburgers and lobster rolls and chicken wings doing it. Why? Because I put out the big video, which is all about the town, and then while I'm there, I'm making videos about different restaurants. Then I take those restaurants, all those videos, I turn those into shorts, and those shorts go out there, and shorts is really driving the page.
They're amazing.
Right? Really driving the page. I'm going to get back to this in a minute, though. And then I'm able to take those shorts or those long videos. I'm able to make pages and optimize pages on my Chime IDX website. I'm able to make blogs with the restaurants that feed the page. I made a page based upon barbecue in Maine. And now I got all the 10, 15 videos of different barbecue places that I went to. Each one of those ongoing content for days. I got to write blogs for each one of those. I want to be so omnipresent. You all can fight over Zillow and the best real estate agent and homes for sale. I am not going to beat them ever. I'm not. But you know where I can beat them? And everything else. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see me everywhere. And then all of a sudden the parasocial relationship kicks in and they're like, this dude's everywhere. I'm bigger than life. But here's the thing I wanted to come back to. 60%, 63% at last check of our video views on YouTube are on smart TV, connected TVs. People are in their living rooms or their bedrooms, mainly a living room. I'm in people's living room and you're not. Mm-hmm. I can't say it any other way. But everybody's, people are like, oh, that'll never work. I'm done trying to convince people, Harrison. I'm just not even going to be nice about it anymore. If either you see it or you don't. But
Mhm.
it's not even my methodology. Gary Vaynerchuk, the number one, in my opinion, the number one influencer for social media, says in 2016 at Inman Connect, an industry event, you need to think of yourself as a media company and not just a real estate agent. And how many people have done anything about it? No, they're looking in the same damn bucket that 1.5 million other agents are looking, thinking that there's going to be a secret lead source. There's none. There is none. There's not some secret. Ojo ain't the answer. Can it supplement your business? Sure. Zillow, is that the answer? Sure. You can get some business from Zillow, but I would rather learn how to feed myself, grow my own vegetables, hunt and fish myself, than to have somebody deliver the stuff to me. And that's when I can eat. Ooh, it's time to eat. I want to
Yeah.
be self sufficient.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm following Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook. I'm listening to Gary Vaynerchuk say you need to be a media company and not just a real estate agent company. But everybody's out there every day coming into work from 9 to 12. Hello, you want to fill your house? Hello, you want to fill your house? Every day. And when you stop doing that, guess what happens? You know what happens.
Right.
You know what happens. But you know what happens after that video goes out? It keeps going 24/7, 365, over and over. You just got to feed it. This weekend, I'll probably take the electric bike out, right? Go scooting. I'm probably going to do like from Hampton Beach, from Seabrook through Hampton up to Portsmouth, right? Route 1.
Yep.
And then come back. It's 11 miles, I think, right?
Yep.
11 miles there, 11 miles back. I get 33 miles to a charged battery. So let's go. It's right? That's a heck of a video. Now, when I go on my Mid-Coast tour, for those that don't know what Mid-Coast is, in Maine, we have sections. You got Southern Maine, Mid-Coast, and Down East, right? I might have missed one in there, but that's pretty much it. Southern Maine is south of Portland. Then you have Mid-Coast, which is in the middle of the state. And then you have Down East, which is Bar Harbor and stuff like that.
Which is not down at all, but it's down east.
Right? It's just funny. They'll get a love Maine. But I've never been exploring on some of these peninsulas and islands and stuff like that over on the Mid-Coast. Now I got an e-bike. I park at the park and ride right into town, do my thing. I'm out.
Yep. Yeah. It's a totally different model when you look at it that way. And, a lot of agents, like you said, grinding it out, coming in on the phone, want to sell your house, going through that script over and over and over again. And that work is done when it's done. But one of the things that Zillow's gotten really good at is what Zillow's done is they've taken the walls down. You want information on real estate? Come on in. No forced registration, no nothing. Just come in and take a look. All of us have these CRMs where you want people to register the minute they hit your website. So what happens? They just drop and they go to Zillow. So we as agents have done a lot of things to push people to other sources. They know if they register on our website, they're going to get a call. They don't want your call. They know that the minute that registration pops up, that call is going to happen. So they just don't stay on your website. They bail. We as an industry have pushed them to Zillow, and then Zillow knew that, and they turned around and then sold those leads back to everybody. Because what Zillow said is, hey, well, you guys were forcing people to give you the information. They were willingly giving it to us, and now we'll sell it to you. So, haha, thanks. But what we've heard a lot this year is we had Realtor.com and OpCity made some changes to how they qualify and disperse leads. So that impacted some people. Zillow is announcing in certain markets are taking the premier agent model down because, again, Zillow is becoming a brokerage in areas and will have their own agents on the ground. So those leads you've been buying at some point in time may not be available anymore because they're going to give them to agents that sign up. So for those of us who've been paying Zillow, you may end up working for Zillow if we can't get outside of their ecosystem and build our own. And that's what's so powerful about the video piece. And the one thing I want to mention too is I got a lot of questions from people lately about, engaging their database. How do I get my database to engage? How do I get them to let me know what's going on? How do I get referrals from them? The same way. It's the same work. I mean, I'm showing a property tomorrow to somebody. who is in my database, somebody I've known for years, and they've been watching my videos. And they came in from, "Hey, I've been watching your videos. Would really love to work with you. You know, could you, do you have time?" Yeah, sure. Come on in. Again, like I'm not really in production, but at this point, I'm in production because I continue to get phone calls for it. So for a long time there, I turned it all down and referred it. I'm like, I'm not taking this. I'm referring it. And now it's kind of like, well, if they're gonna call me and they want to work with me, yeah, I'll take on a few clients. I mean, why not? If they're just gonna show up on my doorstep, it'd be silly to continue to refer them. So I'm getting in more. I'll do more production this year than I've probably done the last 2 years combined because I wasn't really in production. But the more video I've done, the more interviews I've done, the more people I've gotten in front of, the more the business just shows up at my doorstep, even though I don't want it. It continues to show up. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to help those people, and that'll turn into reviews and testimonials and more video content. And it just continues to spin up. But that's the beauty of this video model, is the fact that you make that video, it lives forever. Whereas today you make that cold call, it lives for the 9 seconds you make it, and that work is over. And you think about somebody like Ryan Serhant. Ryan Serhant, one of the biggest real estate agents in the world, has done it all off media. It's and to the point where now he has his own media company. And when he brings people onto his team or into his group, it's all about brand building. It's all about media. I've been hearing a lot of discussions lately about people asking what brokerage they should join. Can anybody tell me what brokerage some of these big agents are at? You don't know. And if we don't know as people in the industry, the consumer sure as hell doesn't know. Nobody knows what brokerage these guys are at. Ryan Serhant, what brokerage is he at? Who cares? It's Ryan Serhant. Ken Posick, he changed brokerages this year. Most people don't even know. He came back, but Ken Posick changed brokerage. Did the consumer care? No. Did they even notice? Probably not. But you think about all these agents, they've built a personal brand so strong, it doesn't matter where the hell they go. The consumers are going to follow them. And that's exactly what this is all about. These videos live forever, bring people into your ecosystem, and do that over the long term, to the point where all this group people wants, all this consumer wants to do is work with you. They don't care where you are. They don't care what banner you fly. They don't care what brokerage you're part of. They don't care what color your logo is. They don't care what type of office you're in. They just want you.
Yeah. And that's right. Even Gary Keller would say, you are the brand, right?
Always.
Now everybody's flipping the script saying, no, you need to come. No, listen, back when I first came to KW in 2011, you are the brand, right? You are the brand. So here's the thing about, video, and why I say video, digital, and social. Now, I'm going to say something, and I know I always catch flack for what I'm about to say. I don't care how many followers you have.
No.
It's a moot point, because you can go out there and buy followers, right? But some of these gurus talk about, you got to put out 2 to 3 pieces of content a day. That's overwhelming, right? And when you look at their content, It's fucking trash. It's trash. It's mindless noise. The same crap that's all over social media. When you put out a piece that's about an area, about something interesting, go do the Marginal Way, right? And go down to Perkins Cove. It's beautiful. People are like, oh, I want to go here. Then you got a drone, you do a little aerial footage and stuff like that. But now I'm able to take, pardon me, I'm still a little under the weather. You're able to take this videos, and you're able to take it and put it on YouTube. YouTube's not social media, but for the lack of a better term, it's more digital than it is social, but whatever. Yep. Now I'm able to put it on YouTube. I look at YouTube also as a hosting facility, because now I can take that YouTube link and I can make a blog with it, digital, so social. I make a blog with it, an optimized blog, a blog that's well written. Heck, there's AI tools. AI can take that link and it automatically writes the blog based upon the transcript. That's pretty cool too. Then I can put that on my Chime IDX website, and then I can share right from Chime to my Facebook. Now we're getting into social. Mm-hmm. I can then run an ad to that to that post if I want, right? Video, digital, and social. I can take those videos and I always shoot them in both renditions. You know what I mean? So I have multiple different formats.
Yep.
I can create shorts and reels and everything else with it, all doing one thing, driving it to Explore Main Life, the website, or the channel where there's a link to the website. It's mentioned, it's branded. My whole intention isn't just to create mindless content with no CTA, call to action, or ability to have a call to action. And I'm unapologetic in my opinion of this. I'm unapologetic. But when I can take a video, spend a little time creating, put it on digital, put it on social, it lives there. It all works together. So putting out 3 to 4 pieces of content a day, I think is trash. I think putting out 2 to 3 good pieces of content per week is a better strategy. But that's just me. What do I know?
No, and I think it's true. It all depends on what you want from it. If you just want to gain followers who are entertained by your stuff, then do all the goofy stuff on TikTok. Do the songs and the voiceovers and point to the words on the screen, and that's fine. And it's honestly it's better than nothing. At least you're doing something that's causing people to see who you are. But a lot of those followers you're going to find are not even in your area. They're not going to use you because they can't, because they're not in your area. They're just following you because you're entertaining. And I keep preaching the purpose of this content should be really how do you inform and educate? Because that's what people really want to know is what's going on in the area. Where should I go? Where's the best this? Where's the best that? Like they want a tour guide. They want to know what's going on in the community. And honestly, the business owners of the community want that too, because it's hard enough running a small business these days. But then you got to market the thing too, and you got to drive business into it, and every little bit helps. So if somebody like Johnny Mo comes in and has their food and puts a video out there, and now they're going to tag it because it's a great asset for them. They're going to share it. They're going to tag you. You're going to tag each other. You're going to get into each other's spheres. People are going to see each other. It's going to hopefully generate business for them. And now they feel that sense of thanks, and reciprocity kicks in, and they want to help you back. So they're going to be willing to give you a referral, or send things your way, or give you a testimonial, or do more video stuff with you in the future. So you're just opening doors to create this relationship. Even if they don't directly refer anything to you, there's still so much benefit from being seen out around the community. And I go back to the book that I read that gave me the biggest insight into this was the 7 Levels of Communication, because the whole purpose of this online stuff, you want to catch the consumer where they're looking, because you then want to find out who that person is and take that relationship offline. So the goal is, video, digital, social is this big net you've cast, and people are going to come into it. And then from there, they're going to say, oh, I'd like to know more, and give them information. Now you've got a chance to take that relationship offline. Whether that's a phone call or a meeting or a video call or whatever you do, you're now getting to meet that person. You're now building that relationship, and that will eventually lead to business. But in the meantime, you are networking across your entire community. You are that connector. You are the person that's helping these people unlock value in their business. And to that, they will always be thankful, and they will always think of you because of what you've done for them. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of time, but you are helping all aspects of your community and continuing to put yourself in the center of it as the person that not only cares with the community, but really makes things happen.
So, Harrison, at the core of this entire game that we play is the relationship.
Yep.
Right? It's the relationship. And so we're in the relationship business. It doesn't mean we're not looking to make friends. We're in the relationships.
Right.
Right? It's different. A cordial, polite business relationship. When I go to do a video at a restaurant, at a business, this is where sphere hacking comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being seen with this person. This person's got hundreds, if not thousands, of followers on Facebook. So when I tag them, they're friends. Good chance their friends are going to see me with them. When I put a little ad spend behind it, you better believe everybody in the area is going to see it. And when I can be seen with this other person that people know and like and trust, they instantly know, like, and trust me. because guilty by association, you also are
Mhm.
successful by association,
100%.
right? So people are seeing me with these other people. I'm delivering a piece of value. I am an introvert. I know you wouldn't think this. I'm like a angry rabid porcupine introvert, right? I don't want somebody asked a question the other day in one of the groups. Does anybody have a sign in front of their house with what they do on it? My answer was, God, no. My home is my sanctuary. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I don't want anybody just popping in or anything like that. No, I don't even want to take that chance. But anyways, be seen as a person of value.
Mhm.
I can do this. I can build my relationships in a controlled environment called video, which builds value. I'm not this high I running a million miles an hour on to the next, on to the next. I hate capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E. I hate realtor networking events. I go in there and it smells like bad perfume, bad cologne, and blah, 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 just so loud. And it's like you leave and you're like, nothing got accomplished.
No.
Except you got 12 title people and 18 lenders calling you over the next couple of weeks. Hey, it was good seeing you. Can we get together for a cup of coffee? See how we can help each other grow our business. Get out of here. Now, I can tell you how. You be a sponsor on my page. Are you willing to do that? No, I work on referrals. All right, beat it, right? So don't I, but I also work with people who support the
Yeah.
ecosystem, support the mission. Now, I'm a little raw, I know that, but I'm unapologetic. I'm like the Ricky Gervais of real estate. I don't care. I don't care whether you like it or not. It's true. It's true, right? So
Yeah.
I would rather not put myself in those situations, even networking events and stuff. I know you love them. I don't. So you have to be real with yourself. Wrote a blog a couple of weeks ago, and it was about how to lead gen based upon your personality type.
Yep.
I'm not good. I don't want to go to the networking events. You want to introduce me to somebody and we sit down and
Yep.
we have a meaningful a conversation of intent with a goal. Man, I'm in. But you want me to go in there and rub elbows with all these people that I won't even remember your name in 5 minutes? It's not me. So you got to understand your strengths and your weaknesses and be real with yourself.
Yep.
Not every real estate agent's a high I. Okay.
Right.
I'm a D. What am I? A DS. Right. I'm a DS. DSC. There's barely any I. Right. There's barely any I. So I use video to overcome that. I don't know what the right word is. I don't even want to call it something like a handicap or anything like that.
No, it's yeah.
Deficiency.
It
Right.
yeah, it's how you get in front of a large group of people without having to get in front of a large group of people.
It's exactly that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not comfortable. I'm not looking to make friends. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get shit done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But provide value. Always provide value and stay in integrity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. And what I will say is I've coached several agents from nearly brand new to high levels of production. I've coached several that have gone from 0 to 50 plus sides within 12 months. And the key to that is exactly what you just said. You know, whenever I'm coaching with somebody, the first thing we do is get a personality assessment done, because oftentimes the person I'm coaching doesn't know their personality type, or thinks they do but doesn't know what it means. And the personality type is not to basically say, oh well, this is who you are. It's more to say these are your strengths and weaknesses. These are the things you're going to be good at and not good at. But what I will say is that, when coaching these people, they have committed to a path that made sense for their personality type. But what I will say is there was always something that they did that was lasting. And what I mean by that is I've never coached anybody to just go grind out cold calls all day. I've always coached them to do something in that is more lasting than that. So whether it's mailers, whether it's social media, whether it's video, whether it's something digital, whether it's networking events, whether it's seminar type stuff, you need something that you do that lasts beyond just the cold calls that you make. Now, should you cold call? Maybe. If that's part of your personality type, maybe you should. But The hard part, again, I go back to, you make that cold call, that work you did today is only good for today. If you send out market reports to people or send or create videos, like that is stuff people refer to again and again and again. So that work lives on beyond just the one time effort. So you basically start to stack all this work that you've done, and you create this really nice baseline of stuff that people are going to run into whether you do anything today or not. And that's how you go from 0 to 50 or 60, or I've had people go as high as almost 80 sides. Um, that's how you get there, because there's not enough hours in the day to generate that level of business. You are going to be, you can't make enough calls. You just can't. And the flip side, the other piece of that too, and the flip side is that a lot of these people I'm talking to lately that have gone from 30 sides to one, I talked to somebody in St. Louis just the other day, has gone from, they've done 30 sides a year last 3 years. They've closed one so far, but their business is all based on Zillow. So I asked her point blank. I said, well, what's your plan? Well, I'm just going to continue to call these leads and try to be the first one to them. I said, so this clearly isn't working for you, and you're spending $5,000 or $6,000 a month on leads you can't convert. So I said, how much longer can you realistically go like this before you've got to throw your hands up and say, I'm out? Mm-hmm. Because here you are, 5 solid months into the year, you've spent probably 25 grand on leads. You've closed one deal. You got a couple of active buyers, again, buyers, which who knows if they'll close in this market. When do you get real about the fact this isn't working and you've got to do something different? And when I talked to her about some of the video stuff that we do, $1,000 a month, you can build your own platform. It was too expensive. So I said, you're telling me $5,000 a month on leads you can't convert is a better deal than $1,000 a month to build your own lead generation platform with video. And her answer was, well, yeah, because I might get that call that gets me a closing the next month. Okay. So again, it goes back to, I need the instant gratification of those leads, or I don't feel like I can move forward, because I don't intend to do the work. And that's exactly what I read loud and clear. This is somebody who benefited from a really great market. There's no intention of doing the work. There's no intention of building relationships. There's no intention of actually taking control of lead generation. I'm going to keep paying for these leads in the hopes, again, hope is not a strategy, in the hopes that the next call I get is somebody who's serious, that I can convert. Yeah. And that's this industry. That's one of the biggest problems in this industry, is that we've been trained and beaten over the head to just look for the instant, look for the right now. And I mean, there are very well-known coaches that are training. If somebody's not willing to do something, ready to do something in 60 to 90 days, throw their name out. Don't even worry about following up. Just go on to the next one. And it blows my mind that the industry's been conditioned to chase right now and forget about down the road.
It's generational. It's been this way forever. And I'm convinced that the majority of this industry has zero clue on how to truly run a business. Zero clue. And I'll stand behind this. I don't care who it pisses off. I said the majority, not everybody. There's some people that do. They're all after that exchange. They're all after that. But that right there is small-minded twit shit. That's what I call it. Okay? It really is. This one sale, my side of the commission is 18 grand, potentially. Okay? How much? 1,000 times 12 is 12,000. Paid for the year.
Right.
But it'll never work. I'll let Susan Cook know that it won't ever work either.
Well, and she's a great story that we're going to tell here in the near future. Somebody who came into a brand new market and ended up as a top 20 in the MLS within a year or so by doing the work, by doing this work, not grinding out cold calls or buying Zillow leads, but by becoming that community leader, establishing herself as that person in a brand new market. And now everything flows to her.
Let me say something too. I'm going to shatter everybody's limiting beliefs. See, my thing, Harrison, is I don't accept excuses from anybody. Okay? I don't. Excuses are for you. Excuses are not for me. Excuses are for you.
Excuses are how you justify why you didn't do something.
She was 62 years old when she moved to a new market. After 20 years in a successful market in Virginia, she moved to southern Georgia. She's 62 years old. But I got people that are 35, 45 saying, it won't work for me. No, you know what don't work for you? Anything, because all you're looking for is the easy. You're an order taker. Well, you are as a customer service person. What you want to do is go open doors and say, I'm worth my fee. No, you ain't worth your fee. You ain't worth crap. You're worth $25 an hour. I'm sorry if this is offensive, but it's real. It's really real. Maybe $50 an hour. Okay. But it's true. If what you're looking for is that exchange and you're going to keep paying until you get that exchange, just get it, save everybody the misery and just quit. Get out of the business, because that's no way to run a business, because you're eventually going to burn all of your cake. Okay? Right. Then what? You got 25 grand into it now? I don't know, man. I was taught from Keller Williams that it's always expense times 4 that I need to make. So right off the bat, 25, you need times 4 is 100. So out of that 25 you've invested, you need to make 100. You think you're going to do it? Because I don't know.
To this point, you know you haven't done it. Right. And honestly, if you pay $5,000 a month over 12 months, that's 60. You got to make 240. And I know most agents aren't making anywhere near that. So you're likely spending 60 to make 120 to net 60. Actually, probably to net 40 after you pay your other expenses. And again, it's if you are a business owner, so if you're a real estate business owner, you're a real estate agent, and you are a 1099 contractor, unless you work for Redfin and you're on salary. If you are a real estate agent and your business is to sell houses, and if you don't have any houses to sell, then that's a problem. And if your only solution is, I'm going to write a check to somebody else in hopes that they bring me houses to sell, then again, you are always one change away, one conversion metric away, one market shift away from being out of business, because you've handed complete control of your business, the most vital part of your business, the generation of it. You've handed that completely off to somebody else, and you are just hoping and praying that they bring you business. And that's a dangerous place to be. Are Zillow leads good? Yeah, they can be. But if that's your only thing, if the only thing you do is pay a lot of money to buy leads, that's a really dangerous game to play. There are so many ways you can generate your own leads. And again, it goes back to whatever method you choose can be linked to your personality, so you actually enjoy doing it. Because again, 87% failure rate in this industry comes from people that are either unsure of what to do, or they're doing the wrong things because they just don't know what they should be doing based on their personality type, their market, what they want to do. Or in some cases, they don't know what to do because nobody's told them. Because again, you take that test, you get that license, and they wish you luck, and they've never, at no point does it teach you how to run a business. Never. It just teaches you some random terminology and a couple of pieces of pertinent real estate information, and they send you on your way. So this is a problem in this industry that we are seeing in a big way right now. We've had nearly 100,000 agents exit the business. They're predicting it could be 300,000 or more that are gone by the end of the year. And honestly, a lot of them needed to go, because a lot of people got into this business thinking it was going to be easy money. They're just going to show up, the phone was going to ring, they're going to make money. And over the last couple of years, some of them did, because the market was that good. And they ran into business that really belonged to other people that had been doing the work, but they just happened to run into it because they knew somebody, or they just happened to pick up the phone at that point in time. Like, a lot of those agents need to go. We need to purge the industry. There's too many agents. There's twice as many agents as there are active listings. So first of all, you need to purge a lot of them. But some of the ones that are leaving are not the people that should be leaving. They got caught in this. Either they didn't know what to do, didn't know how to do it, or made bad decisions based on bad guidance.
Yeah. Good. They need to be purged. I'm sorry. You always cut, you know what I mean? If you got a bowl of fruit, everybody knows this analogy, and a bowl of oranges, and one starts to mold, it'll mold all the other ones. You got to get rid of the moldy one, and the other ones are spared. If you're growing tomato plants, you're growing watermelons, you're growing any of these peppers, watermelons.
Okay.
Yeah. Vine, bro. Vine was a wonderful thing. Watermelon inside of my watermelon.
I've never heard of a watermelon. I know a watermelon, but
yeah, watermelon. Anyways, Everybody knows that if you want the best tomatoes, you cut off the top. If everybody knows that if you want the best peppers, you cut off the top. Everybody knows that if you want watermelons, you take the first one off. Everybody's excited for that first one, and you get rid of it, right?
Yep.
You gotta cut the dead weight, otherwise it brings down the everything else. Now, I'm not saying I want people to suffer
No.
or anything. I'm just saying I want people to thrive, and the only it's just like this, Harrison. I mean, you played baseball in high school, right?
Yeah,
College
all the way through
too, did you?
college.
Okay. So there are a whole lot of kids in Little League that dreamed. I don't even know who plays baseball anymore, but a whole bunch of people playing Little League that dream of going to the big leagues, right? And if they're lucky, they go to a good high school and they get on the high school team, right? Even there's a whole bunch of people. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Little Johnny's the best, right? And then they get to college and they realize, well, Little Johnny's pretty freaking average,
Yep.
right? Well, Johnny ain't that good because Timmy from Illinois is freaking better, right? And now all of a sudden it's time for big leagues. Ain't nobody goes right from college to the big league, right? To the MLB.
Right.
They may go to a farm team, double A, triple A. I don't even know what single
Now
A is,
that yeah,
right?
now there's 4 layers to the minor leagues you got to get through.
Right. So, and it's the same with football. You make the practice squad. Yeah, technically you're on the team and you'll get a ring,
Yep.
but you ain't really on the starting team.
Yeah.
Right.
On Sunday you're watching from somewhere else.
There's a lot of people who want to, but there's a small group of people who actually are.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I did I remember in high school I did the perfect game showcase circuit. I went to several showcases and played in front of scouts and got my scouting reports and my recruiting videos and all this cool stuff and talked to a bunch of MLB scouts who basically said, "Hey, you got a chance to be a late round pick if you wanted to enter the draft." And I'm like, "No, because it's 1 in 500,000 kids in high school make it to the major leagues. So I can dedicate my life to baseball and go that path, or go get an education and build myself a business. Um, that's a much higher ratio, much higher rate than the 1 in 500,000.
Yeah.
But I look at it as I didn't go down the baseball path because I wasn't willing to commit to what that was going to take. If I wanted to raise myself up to a higher level to have a better chance, I wasn't willing to commit to that work. But I was willing to commit to my education and learning and finding new things that I could do. And that's the same in this business. If you're not willing to commit to doing the work that's gonna build you a sustainable business, it's gonna build you something that will take care of you for the long term, um, then maybe you shouldn't be in it. And I don't mean that in any sort of disrespect. I mean, I've talked to a lot of agents right now that are getting out of the business, and a lot of them just said, look, I'm realizing this isn't for me. Like, I was on a team and they fed me leads, but like that's it. Like, that's all I knew. Or I had a good run because I met an investor who did a bunch of things and they're gone now. Or like, a lot of people got in this business the last few years when things were crazy. Business was there, and a lot of people, the money was great, but they're kind of realizing, I'm not sure that I enjoy this business. I don't want to do what it's going to take to stay in it long term. And I think that's great. A lot of people are selecting out too because they realize that I'm just not interested in doing what it's going to take to keep doing this. And that's good. You need to have that realization. And I was joking with somebody the other day. I said, we have all these open jobs around the country, and nobody can figure out where all the people went that work. Well, they all went to real estate. Everybody got a real estate license the last 3 years. Um, all those companies that have been searching hard for jobs are going to have this flurry of people coming back into the job market because they're going to leave real estate. But again, like every cycle, when the market's good, everybody gets in real estate. When the market's bad, a bunch of people bail out. Like, this is not new. And this is not, again, we don't want anybody to suffer or go through any sort of difficult time. But the reality of it is the industry needs this. The industry had to cool off. The industry had to clean up. And a lot of people are realizing that this just isn't for them after riding a kind of a 2-year wave. They're realizing that this isn't going to be for them long term. It was a lot of fun, but I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing.
Well, because they get the security, and even being on a team isn't the answer. I mean, I know of teams that just decided to shut down, locked everybody out of their email and their leads in their CRM, and all of a sudden the people had to start all over again. So here they were reliant upon the team, and the team screwed them in some respects. I would think. I've seen that dozens of times
Oh
happen.
yeah.
It was just like, Oh, now you got to start all over with nothing.
Mhm.
So all the work you were working on, you're screwed now. Um, but again, that's goes back to the old adage of, I don't even know I'm using that word correctly.
Yeah.
Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you feed him for life.
Mhm.
Right? I ain't interested in your fish, man. I'm not. I'm just
Go
not
catch my
interested in
own.
your fish. I want to make my own fish trap. I want to get my own fish. Would I take a fish if you threw it to me? Sure.
Yeah, why
But I
not?
ain't dependent upon it.
Right.
You mean?
Yep.
I'm not dependent upon it. So I think you need to learn how to fish. And, using video, using digital, using social is the best way to do that. People are going to come, people are going to go. And, the people that I work with, man, it's like 1% of the market,
Yep.
right? Probably 0.5% of the market. And I like it that way. I don't want to work with everybody,
No,
right?
no, I want to pick and choose who works for me, and also the type of deals I want to do and the areas I want to work.
Mm.
I don't want to drive 3 hours north to take a listing. Like, I'm happy to refer that to somebody else because, again,
Yeah.
getting getting the full commission versus the referral doesn't really matter to me. Like, it's just not that big a deal. I'd rather focus on the things I enjoy and be able to hand that off and not have to deal with it.
Yeah. So that's just where I stand, man, is run your business how you want to. I would suggest building the content the way that you want to. But by God, you got to do the work. You just got to do the work. And that's what holds so many people back. And even at Explore My Town, we've taken on partners who we've had for a year or 2 years, and they did 9 videos. They're like, oh, it doesn't work. Then why does it work for this one, this one, this one? Oh, you know why? Because they do the videos, they do the work, they send them to their sphere, they drive it, they write the blogs. We actually provide that, right?
Right. Yeah.
But you
Do it
just
all.
you didn't do your part, so it didn't work. In this equation was you. See, this is why people love me and then they hate me, right? I'm like that Sour Patch commercial, you know. At first they're sour, but then they're sweet, right?
Yep.
Because I'm real. I'm not going to accept your BS excuses ever because they don't affect me. They don't affect me. So why am I going to allow any cell in my body to accept your BS that you're telling yourself?
Yep.
And you know as well as I do, taking Bold and all these other things and being around it, that most of the excuses you're making are because of this.
Mhm.
Okay. And this doesn't have anything to your this doesn't have nothing to do with me. Nothing. So I won't allow it.
Yep.
Right. And when I call them out on their bullshit and be like, well, listen, you've been with me for 2 years, you made 9 videos. We followed up with you. We provide videos, we provide scripts, we do all this other stuff. You didn't do your part.
Yep.
You have a networking group. You didn't film one thing, you didn't interview one person, you didn't do nothing. But I'm the problem. We all want to look for somebody to blame. As somebody that healed from Catholicism, blame, shame, and guilt. If I offended anybody, I'm sorry. It's too funny not to say though. But blame, shame, and guilt is real. Okay,
Yep.
blame. Brene Brown writes about it in her books. Blame,
Yep.
shame, and guilt is real. I'm not going to let you blame me. I'm not going to let you shame me. I'm not going to let you guilt trip me.
Mhm.
And in return, I ain't going to do none of it to you either.
Right. Yeah. We're just going to call it what it is. And honestly, that's why there's been a number of people I've spoken to that are interested in the concept, but I encourage them not to do this. I encourage them not to join us if they're not actually going to commit to doing the work, because this is lead generation activity. It absolutely is. Making these videos is lead generation activity. If you think of it as just some other thing you have to do, then you're just not going to do it. And we're not looking to have anybody join that doesn't want to do the work. So I tend to convince people of why they shouldn't do it. Here's what it looks like. Here's what you got to commit to. If you at all don't think that's going to be for you, then please don't do this. But we do offer things like coaching. If you want to actually have a chance to talk to, we have some SEO experts we work with. We have creators. We have other agents, coaches. We do a lot of coaching too. So if you just want to learn the techniques and go do it for yourself, you can do that too. We're happy to share with you. And I put a link in the chat here. It's theevolutionmediagroup.com/freebies. We've created all kinds of good stuff you can have for free. If you want to figure out how to build a better SOI, generate referrals more consistently, all kinds of stuff. Go check that out and download the free stuff. We're happy to help. we're not trying to convince anybody why they should do this. We're just trying to let everybody know this is an option, and something you should be thinking about, because your business is dependent upon you being able to make it sustainable, make it something that will take care of you long term. Because the exchange or the buying leads or the instant gratification of I'm ready to do something right now, that's not a consistent thing. That is market dependent. It's person dependent. So whatever you do, do the work that continues to take care of you down the road. Don't just do the work that's done today. So you got to get up tomorrow morning and do it again. Because why do people burn out of this business? They get stuck on that treadmill doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Diversify what you do. So you've got a combination of stuff you're doing today that is good for today, but stuff you did yesterday that's also good for today. Build that out, make your life easier. That's why we continue to refer back to the database too. Build that out, because that database will take care of you. So anyways, we got to wrap it up here, Johnny Mo. So what is your parting thought for this week?
Stop making excuses and do the work. That's it. I mean, that's really what I want to get through to people's head is the only person you're hurting is yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. You're hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you are not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to create content, if you're not, I don't even like the word content. I don't.
Yeah.
If you're not, but that's what they call it, right?
Yep.
I'm so sick of the guru saying, you gotta make content. You gotta make content. But ain't a fucking one of them tell you what kind of content to make. Okay? We do. Yeah. We tell you what to make. We help you write the scripts. We help you write the blogs. All you got to do is show up, take your phone, and go record. Hey, it's Johnny Mo. How are you? That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Stop making excuses, because you're only hurting yourself, man. You're only hurting yourself with the excuses and the bullcrap-ish that you're telling yourself. Okay? Yep. Video is here. It is here to stay. It's 89% of the traffic across the internet. If you're not doing it, somebody else is.
Yep. Yeah. If you want to show up on page 1 of YouTube, page 1 of Google, and have people seeing your stuff and finding you for years, this is the solution for you. If you just want to continue to pound the phones and hope you can find somebody today who wants to do something, then clearly this isn't for you. I like it. I don't prospect, and I'll close 8 sides before the end of this month. And I don't prospect. It's not what I do. I don't want to sit there and make calls all day, but I'll make videos and I'll follow up and I'll network till my little heart's content. So that's my MO. So my parting thought is, stop running your business for today. Start running your business for tomorrow. Because if you were running your business for tomorrow, you wouldn't have felt any pain the last few months, because you would have had a pipeline of people. You would have had something you could lean on. And that's where a lot of people are right now. They felt a lot of pain for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, because they were running their business for today. And when it was really good 2 years ago, today was great. But right now, you got to be building for tomorrow. So run your business for tomorrow. Keep the long game in mind. If you want help getting onto page 1 of Google and the top of the results at YouTube, let us know. We'd love to help you out. If you don't, continue doing your thing. And we hope you're not part of the 87%.
Hey, before we go, you know what Michael Gerber told me from his lips to my ears? Michael Gerber, author of the E-Myth. Probably it should be mandatory reading for every real estate agent.
It's a good book.
He said, be revolutionary or charge less. Right?
Yep.
Be revolutionary.
Yep. It's a good way to end it, Johnny Mo. Hope everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope the weather's good where you are. You get outside, and we'll see you all next week.